How to build bigger legs for skinny guys. Pretty ballsy coming from someone that still has skinny legs, but I'm gonna tell you why and how we're gonna build bigger legs this year together. So back in 2021, when I first started this whole bodybuilding thing, I did my first show and well, clearly my legs just weren't there. Come 2022, I decided enough was enough, and this was the year that I was gonna commit to a bulk and finally grow my legs. A few months in my bulk, my knees were in so much pain I couldn't even get up from the toilet without assisting myself. It wasn't until I started my prep where I could finally start doing leg extensions without any pain. 2023, we got absolutely shredded and realized that all that junk that was in my trunk was literally just junk. And now it's 2024 and I'm a man with a plan, and all I want is to have bigger legs than Sam. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm gonna take you guys through my full leg routine. One, that way you guys know I actually train legs, and two, that way you guys hold me accountable while training. But this way I can show you guys what I'm currently doing, what mistakes I've made in the past, and what you may be making as well. And honestly, I'm pretty excited that you guys are here right now. This just means I can be a little. So we're starting with calves because no more toothpicks this year. I want to build some baseballs back there, you know what I'm saying? So my biggest focus when doing this exercise is prioritizing that stretch at the bottom. So if you guys notice, I kind of hang there for about 1 to 2 seconds, I get that stretch, and then I focus on getting a full contraction at the top. Now, ideally, I don't go too heavy, because if I go too heavy on this exercise, then I can't really get that peak contraction at the top. So I really bank on getting that stretch, and then once I start to fatigue, then I go into those partial reps until I can't anymore. All right, so the reason why I start with calves first is because it doesn't fatigue me going into my bigger lifts, and because calves are one of my weaknesses. I found that if I leave calves towards the end, I either don't feel like doing them, I don't do them, or I don't push myself as much. So putting them in the beginning of my workout, definitely I've seen a huge change. I won't put 2 calf exercises, I'll just focus on one, and then I'll leave the other one for the end. But yeah, let's be honest, if you're struggling with building your calves, maybe prioritize and putting them in the beginning of your workout instead of at the end of your workout. So this exercise has been pretty much a staple for me, also known as the good girl machine. As I mentioned before, when my knee started to hurt during my bulk, I couldn't do any quad exercise, no lunge, no squat, no leg extension. I could only focus on my hamstrings or my inner groin. So I started incorporating this exercise because I was able to do it with no pain. It actually made my legs look bigger because I never trained my inner thighs. So from a front view, when you just see the quad, it looked very skinny. But by incorporating this exercise and growing my inner thighs more, it actually made it look a lot wider from a front view. So the cheat code to bigger legs is train your inner thighs. All right, so I'm curious, I got a question for you. If you had to choose between a seated hamstring curl or a lying hamstring curl for the rest of your life, you can only choose one, which one would you do? Personally, I would stick with the lying hamstring curl myself, only because it's like a preacher curl, but instead of for biceps, for hamstrings, and you don't really need much as long as you really focus on that full range of motion and that peak contraction at the top. You don't really need much to really feel your hamstrings. 1 to 2 hard ass working sets, and your hamstrings are pretty smoked. If you struggle to feel this exercise, I'd recommend trying it single leg instead of double leg. Same thing for leg extensions, which we're gonna do next. the reason why I like this specific line hamstring curl machine is because it's a prime machine. And for those of you who don't know, you can manipulate the resistance on where you want it, whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the top range of the exercise. And being that when doing line hamstring curls, it favors more of the bottom position. It kind of matches our strength profile a little bit more. That way we can feel more of the tension in the beginning, and we can really focus on that contraction, that squeeze at the top, compared to if it was really heavy at the top, then it would be really hard to kind of focus on getting that squeeze. So when in doubt, if you ever find yourself using one of these prime machines and you don't really know what you're doing, where you want the tension, then just simply place it in the middle and you should be good. Now, leg extensions for me have always been a staple in my routine, whether it's dual leg or single leg, but lately I've been doing them more single leg simply because of someone like me that has history with knee pain. It really allows me to focus on that specific leg, focus on its full range of motion, focus on that contraction, focus on my tempo, and simply it's just a great exercise to work the quads in a shortened position, while I'm sure you already do squats and lunges that work the quad more in its lengthened position. All right, so something I want you guys to notice while I'm doing this single leg extension is my positioning with that working leg and what I'm doing with my hands. So I'm aligning myself with that working leg, and also with my hands, I'm grabbing onto the seat and grabbing onto the handle, and I'm pulling and driving myself down, like gluing my ass to the seat. And it really allows me to drive all of my force onto my leg and focus on that leg extension. And this is called anchoring yourself, which I've been doing recently in all my workouts, and I found lots of success. More mind-muscle connection, more contraction, and just more focus, and avoiding any momentum and cheating when trying to lift the weight. And I've learned this from Ben Yanis, who posts lots of great content on YouTube and also on Instagram. So I'll put his handle here. Again, we can manipulate the tension on where we want it, where we want the resistance. And here I'm honestly keeping it simple and just keeping it right in the middle. One thing, or one cue I like to tell myself, and maybe you can apply this in your leg extensions, is when trying to get that full contraction at the top, think about kicking yourself in the forehead. I promise you, you won't, but think about kicking yourself in your forehead, and you'll really drive that leg up as hard as you can. This exercise, kind of have a love-hate relationship with this exercise. One, because I actually enjoy the fact that I can actually do this exercise without any pain, but I hate it because of how it makes me feel. And lately, I've just been wanting to throw up or just not do it anymore. You guys are here with me, so should be a fun one. One thing I want to touch on in case, whoa, it's getting pretty intense over there. I definitely want to train with those guys. That's why I stay over here. God damn, it's like a murder scene over there. One thing I wanted to mention that some of you might be struggling with is kind of knowing how much to do as a warm-up prior to your working sets. These two sets, as you guys saw, are my warm-ups, and now I'm gonna get into my working set. So you don't wanna do too much either to then fatigue yourself for your working sets, which is what you wanna really focus on. So I'd say your first set, which will be your lightest set, can be anywhere between 8 to 12 reps, nice and slow, as long as it isn't too heavy. You should be warmed up, especially by now, after doing 4 or 5 exercises. And then your second to last one, something close, relatively heavy, so your body can feel what's coming next. But as you guys just saw, I did 6 reps, more than enough to get myself ready for what's coming next. I have to mention, I usually get 1 Gatorade, and I've been doing that maybe these past 3-4 leg workouts, simply because by the time I get to this leg press, I really try and push the pace here. And I almost feel like I'm gonna pass out. I get very pale, I get very shaky. And it takes me like 5 to 6 minutes to rest in between, because if not, there's just no chance I'm gonna lift that again. But a little bit of sugar goes a long way, so we're prepping early. All right, so lately I've been getting about
12 to 13 reps with 5 plates and a quarter. So we're gonna aim for that 14, 15. First set, here we go. All right, so something you're gonna hear me say in probably almost every workout video is the importance of tracking your workouts. If you're not doing that, I highly recommend doing it. I was never a fan of doing it. I actually never did it. Ever since this past year, I started doing that. It's just like tracking your calories. If you don't track, you don't really know how much you're eating. And if you don't track your weights, then you don't really know what you did last week and how you can progress. And this is probably one of the easiest and fastest ways to progress and focus on progressive overload, which if you wanna build muscle, that's probably one of the biggest things you should focus on. On the inside, I think the last time I did this was about come on, boy. 8. Come on, dude. 9. Oh shit. 10. Good. 10 it is. And 5-minute rest begins now. That was 10. I'd like to go as low as 7 or 8. So maybe another 10 on each side, I think will do it. Let's go 6 plates and 10 on each side. Oh. Come on, G. I might have went just a tad bit shy from the depth that I was looking for in that last rep. I think I got a little scared. Thought I wasn't gonna make it. I guess we'll have to see the replay. Don't be afraid to take longer rest breaks if needed at times. For example, when something heavy compound like a leg press or a Smith machine squat or just a barbell squat, something that you're pushing yourself, don't be afraid to go up to the 3, 4, 5 minutes if you need to. If you don't, then obviously try not to, but it's fine to lift heavy. I gotta pull this shit away. So honestly, I just want to go home, and this is why I don't suggest leaving your calf exercises at the end. This is why I start with one now. Probably should just do both to get out of the way, because now that I'm here, it's really hard to push myself as much as I'd like to, but honestly, I feel a lot better today than my previous leg days. I think it's because I got more meals in today than what I usually do. I anticipated that and actually ate more knowing that it was gonna get pretty brutal, and because I was filming. So I'd highly suggest, and this goes for, let's say, rear delts. And I say rear delts and calves because I feel like those are two muscle groups that are sort of neglected at times. If you struggle with building your rear delts or your calves, like I've said, put them in the beginning of your workouts, emphasize them at first, and then go on to your other exercises. So same applies here, just like the standing calf raise. Obviously I do as many as I can. I focus on getting that stretch at the bottom. I try and get that squeeze at the top, and once I can't do that anymore, then I just fall into those partial reps, especially in my last set. All right, we're done. All right, this is the best part. This is where I embarrass myself and show my huge legs. So time to take the clothes off. All right, so like I was saying earlier when we were doing the good girl machine, from a front view, right? For me, I don't really have that sweep yet, so my quads don't look as big. But because I worked on that inner thigh, I open up just a little bit and the thigh shows and the legs look a lot better. More thighs for the guys, huh? What do you guys think? Calves, okay, we're getting there. Looking like soft balls, but we're working our way up. Honestly, I am pretty happy. Most importantly, because I'm able to train my legs, so that's already a big improvement from last year. But the goal is to continue to grow nice and slowly. I got good faith that this is gonna be the year that I'm going to grow my legs a lot more. I think what I did last year was I got too ambitious on wanting to try and grow my legs. I pushed the weight really fast, both with food intake and pushing it here on leg days, and lots of inflammation and just too much weight for my knees to handle. Like I said, I could barely get up from the toilet without assisting myself. So that's pretty much it for today's leg day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. What do you say we get out of here? Bam! Ooh. All right, what a day, what a leg day. I can't wait to get home. I am so hungry. But before I let you guys go, I wanna leave you guys with this, especially if your goal is to build legs this year. Number one, focus on eating in a slight calorie surplus of anywhere between 100 to 300 extra calories on top of your maintenance. Number two, focus on leg exercises that you feel most connected with, not what your favorite influencer or YouTuber are performing. Number three, consider maybe having 2 leg days. Maybe you have a quad focused and a hamstring focused day. And number four, train with intensity. All right, you have to listen to your body, and recovering from these tough sessions is what's gonna make you grow. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it's kind of tough when I film by myself. 9 times out of 10, especially now that I'm here in Stewart, I don't really have my boys with me, my videographers, so I'm doing a lot of stuff by myself, so cut me some slack. I'm trying my absolute best. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here, and especially the ones that made it all the way to the end. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate if you guys subscribe, tap that bell, the way you guys get notified when I post, and I'll catch you all in the next one. And don't forget to smash that like button. Peace!